There's some new music videos out.
Yep. And we saw one very specific one.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Cobra.
Cobra, Meg Thee Stallion.
Yep.
You know, what did you think? Okay, so new. Okay, let's backtrack. New song, new video. Meg Thee Stallion. She executive produced this video. This is her brainchild. So, and I know there's been a lot of stuff about Meg Thee Stallion and her management team. So I feel like this is a, she's kind of starting to pivot in terms of the way her business is handled. So naturally, I'm not surprised to see her getting more involved in her actual music and music videos and things like that. The
inner workings.
Yes, and the content. I don't like calling it content, but the work product that she is creating, right? So, new video, Cobra. Cobra is the title of the song.
Yep.
Interesting video, I would say.
Yep.
So tell me what you think. What did you think about the song? What did you think about the video?
I'll start with the video.
Oh, the video first. Okay.
It fit the concept of the song. She's shedding her skin, which makes a lot of sense because the lyrics are very intimate, very vulnerable.
Yep.
And so that makes sense. She's addressing a lot of the things that were said in the public over the last year, 2 years. And so that made a lot of sense.
It was literal. It was a very literal interpretation of
shedding skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that part.
Yeah, that's a cool concept.
There was like one part in the video that I didn't understand, but besides that,
I know which part you're talking about. I saw your face when you watched it.
It just was like, why we needed a close up of her ass going up. I didn't understand that.
There was an ass clap that happened.
But why? We had to zoom in on the ass clap?
Well, I don't even care about the zoom in of the ass clap. I kind of feel like the ass clap, though, was a little strange considering the content of the song. The context is probably the better word to use of the song. The song was very vulnerable and very honest about some things that have been going on with her and how she's been feeling about everything that has gone on over the last several years. She talks about her parents. She talks about suffering from depression.
Oh, yeah. That's in the hook.
Catching a man cheating on her.
Party next door.
Hey.
That's who it was.
Don't misspeak about the party.
That's who she was with.
That's the wrong party.
It wasn't Tori.
It's not Party Next Door, though.
Who is it?
Partisan Fontaine.
Oh, shit. You see, look. I ain't even know. I can't keep up. It's too many parties. Too many parties.
I'm like, what the Party Next Door do?
Oh, when I hear party, I think of Party Next Door.
No, Party with a D. Party with a D-I. P-A-R-D-I. Partisan Fontaine is
you learn something new every day. I've heard his name, but I've never heard him referred to as Party. When I hear Party, it's always in reference to Party Next Door. Yeah,
so somewhere around the time that she started dealing with him, it became clear to me that that's his nickname, Party, P-A-R-D-I. So, yeah. When people refer to Meg Thee Stallion and Party, they're talking about Partisan Fontaine.
See, I didn't even know. I just learned something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Party that she was talking
Allegedly,
about cheating in the bed.
Saying, yes. In the bed where she sleeps.
That's what she said. She
spoke about that. She, I feel like she kind of, put it all on the table. And while it's in terms of like beat, it's kind of upbeat and, the video is she's dancing and things like that. But it's still kind of like I don't know if it's dark. I don't know. I don't want to use the word dark, but I think it's moody, I should say. Right? Yeah. It was just weird. The ass clap was weird in the midst of all of that. I felt it was a little strange.
I mean,
and I guess it's her brand, but
that's what I was going to say.
I didn't care for it. I didn't need it. I didn't. I mean, I thought the video was cool. I like that conceptually she really like did something rather than just dance around, you know, in front of a green screen, and it didn't really matter. I kind of like that Meg Thee Stallion, whenever she's a part of a project, not necessarily her song, but whenever she's a part of a project, there's always like a video, and it's always interesting and vibrant. And I feel like, you know, we mentioned Hype Williams recently. I feel like the art of the music video was like a real thing at one time, and I know that people still try to create visuals in different ways.
No, they don't.
Not the same way, but I think people still try to do things that have like a video component. It's just not the actual music video itself is not really there's not a lot of thought or effort put into it. Maybe because we don't consume media the same way, so it's a lot of people aren't looking for the music videos these days, so it's kind of like, why put so much money? They put a lot of money years ago. They put a lot of money into these music videos, and it was a big deal. We talked about that recently, about how big of a deal it was for somebody to release a music video, and to be big enough to have the budget to create a music video was a thing also.
Yep.
I think now that it's so easy and it's so accessible to just throw something up in a video, I think people just don't really put a whole lot into it.
Agreed.
But I like that whenever she does something, it looks like any video that I've seen Meg Thee Stallion in the last few years look like money was spent.
Yeah, she's a top act.
Yeah, so, and I appreciate that. So that was the only part where I was just like,
yeah,
okay.
I think that say it again.
It gave me pause, but that was it. I'm not mad at it. It's just
me too. It is on brand for Meg. Mm-hmm. I think that this was a good way of doing multiple things as an artist. Mm-hmm. She knows her fans. Right. She knows the sound that she has. Mm-hmm. And this still has that sound. Yeah. This is something a casual Meg fan like me or you who hears it in passing, mm-hmm. and is not someone who knows her discography and knows all her music and knows all the intricate details of what she does lyrically. Mm-hmm. A casual fan can hear this and still say, oh, this has a nice bounce, and enjoy just the bounce. And I think today she knows that, and she knows everyone is not listening for lyrics. Right. But what I think is also cool is this was heavy lyrically. Yeah. Still was playful. You hear her kind of responding to certain things that were said on the trial, in the rumors, you know, all of these different places. And even in the hook says, this pussy depressed. And so it was a really cool way, in my opinion, of kind of doing a layered record, right? You got the witty responses to the public speakings. Mm-hmm. You got the depression. You got the you got the introspectiveness. Mm-hmm. You also got the bouncy record with the catchy hook. You know, it was a Meg record, but also it was lyrical. It was introspective. It was real rap. You know, it wasn't quote unquote bubblegum rap. I'm not saying that's what she always does, but I'm just saying that is sometimes what is sought out today. Today, lyrics do not reign supreme. And so to have such a lyrical record on a bounce, that's pretty nice. Everyone also is not capable of doing that as an artist. Everyone cannot make the bouncy record that you might go dance to, you might go bop to, but also is some actually really deep, dope shit. Yeah. And maybe this is a little bit of my artist brain going too deep, but I think it's really cool that she was able to be this vulnerable and deliver it in such a witty way. Yeah. Even though she's talking about depression, being cheated on, the things going on in the public eye, this record doesn't sound sad and mopey. No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like Eeyore is on the mic. No. It sounds like Meg, confident, bold, big, is on the mic. Her presence is definitely felt. Like I said a while ago, when we spoke about bongos and WAP. This was another moment like WAP, where you hear Meg and you hear Meg. Meg has arrived.
Yeah, she did a great job, and you're right. She covered all the bases. She was able to do a lot of different things with one song, which you're right, it's not easy for everybody to do.
Yeah.
I like the song.
Me too.
I like the song. I don't know if I'd listen to it again though.
Oh, I would. I love the introspectiveness.
No, I like the introspectiveness. I don't have a problem with the lyrics. I don't have a problem with the sound. I think it's a great song. I think the thing that gets me about Meg Thee Stallion's music is that thing she does in the middle of her raps when she goes, ha! It drives me insane. I don't know why. It's just a sound I don't want to hear in my I tingle a little bit, not in a good way when I hear it. I'm like, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. I don't know why. And I think that's why I have a hard time with her music. Like,
certain artists have tied themselves to an ad lib. And I think in the early 2000s, that got really popular. You have Jeezy. Yeah.
I like that one, I gotta be honest.
But that's what I'm saying. So there are, Fab for a long time had Nice. Rick Ross has his signature.
Which someone say, some people would say he stole.
Correct. And, people have their ad-libs. We don't need to go down a whole list, but Hove also has his weird yep, which is
very weird
everywhere, actually. But he does it all the time, so yeah.
Nicki does something too, which is kind of similar to Meg's hat, but
oh yeah, I don't listen to enough Nicki to know that.
I don't listen to a lot of Nicki, but I've heard it, and now I'm trying to figure out what it is, and I can't place the sound.
Even early J. Cole, me and one of my closest guy friends talk about this. J. Cole had a sound effect that played on a lot of his records in these like middle spots where there was no words, and you would hear the the sound effect. There was a lot in his early music.
You have a sound you do?
I do not.
Are you gonna create one?
Probably not.
No. You should.
No.
You should like laugh or something.
Oh, okay. I'll put that in my rapper notes.
You should. What should your sound be? I don't know. I gotta think about that. Contest. What should JD's sound be? Somebody tell us, please. Give him a sound. You should have a sound too. What could your sound be like?
And that's kind of like not that. I don't even know what that was, but definitely not that.
Maybe it could be that. No. But yeah, that's my only gripe here is that I don't want to hear that. And it drives me crazy to hear it. And no, she's not the only person who has her own little, stamp that they put on their music.
It's a signature ad-lib. That's what it is.
It is. And I don't like all of them. So I'm not singling her out, but it drives me crazy. And even listening to the song a second time, I was like, man, I would love this song so much more if I didn't have to hear that in the middle of it.
It's a stamp. It's like an exclamation point at the end of a line.
Yeah, I know.
Jay-Z does it a lot on the song Run This Town. Almost every line he's got that.
Yeah.
Which he stole that one from Beanie Siegel, but that's another conversation.
Oh, well, listen, the thievery that's going on in this episode already.
A lot of theft.
So, I mean, I'm happy for her. I'm glad that listen, for what it's worth, it's probably not the right way to think about things, but whenever someone who's musically talented goes through something in their life,
you're gonna get a good record.
You always, anticipate good music coming after that, especially if you know that they hone in on their own lives to make their music, which most people do. So I appreciate this. I would say that I would listen to Meg Thee Stallion more if I heard more like this. So
And I think, I don't know the name of the project, but there's a project, she put out an EP a while ago, and they say the EP is very different than her normal sound and is a lot more about her personal life.
Okay.
And she addresses a lot of different things like management and stuff like that. I don't know the name, but it came out maybe a year ago or so. And I have heard that from multiple people. And piggybacking what you said, yes, when artists put their pain and their life in records, it often shines. Nas said, they say the artist who truly suffers, his shit is the best.
Yeah. which is kind of sick when you think about it. Just like,
but that's what we want as consumers, because we want to be able to relate to the music.
Well, that's
the relatability is so heightened.
I'm calling us sick. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like the anticipating that, like.
But that's what happens. Like when you listen to, okay, Joe Budden is not like a Jay-Z or Nas level in fame as an MC.
Yeah.
But people who liked Joe Budden's music, they listened for that. They listened for the depression, the introspection, the breakup records.
Of course.
He even said on one song, they looking for Hurt Joe. That's what his fans grew to be accustomed to. Like they were just used to, oh, New Joe, okay, we're gonna hear about the breakup. New Joe, we're gonna hear about his battles with addiction. New Joe, we're gonna hear about all these different things. That was part of what he was tied to. Like, I know me, I get excited when I hear about R&B artists having a bad breakup, because I'm like, oh,
when the album come out,
album about to be crazy.
When the album come out, listen,
right?
You know, they be in love and you know,
and that's good. I'm happy for them.
Good for them. But them breakups, though,
when you get the breakup albums
are great. Listen,
I get excited.
I know, you know, we don't talk about him too much these days, but. And this is probably, maybe we cut this out. If you'll let me know if we should cut this out.
Chris, take note. Chris, timestamps.
That album that came out after the Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Oh yeah, that's the first one I thought about actually.
That album was incredible. And I know people talk their shit about Chris Brown now and feel like his music is not where they would like it to be, and that's fine, but back then, at that time where we were, and when that was released, that was a great freaking album that came out after.
And Rated R was too.
And Rated R was too. It was dark. I remember Rated R coming out, and I was like, "Is she okay?"
Nah.
She was not okay, and I hated liking the album because I felt like someone needs to go check on her, like. Truly, it was that type of album, but it was great. Yeah. But it was just like, and then what? Anti came out after that.
Yeah, way after.
But Anti was the next album, right? Wasn't it?
I think there's one in between.
Really?
I think so.
I thought it was Rated R and then Anti.
Nah, I think there's another one after that.
Okay, but I mean,
actually, there's more than one after that.
Really?
Yeah, because then there's a Chris Brown and Rihanna. There's a Chris Brown and Rihanna record on the next album.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure you're right.
Or 2 albums later, actually. It was Rated R, an album I can't remember. Unapologetic, I think, is the next one. Maybe the Chris Brown record, and then Anti was years later.
I don't know why I'm grouping Anti closer, but yeah. So that was great. The reason I say it's sick, though, is because like we're benefiting from people's trauma, and it's something about that feels weird. But yes, it is absolutely a true statement that when these things happen, they go into the studio and
they let that pain out.
They put their feelings right into that music, and it is usually really good music that we get after that. So yeah, this is all true. So more new music.
More new music.
Rhapsody released a new single.
She did.